All right, good afternoon and happy New Year's. Drive. Obviously it's January 1st, 2025. ATIs, we made it another year. We made it another year. Yo, and it's funny because I told you I went to church last night, and it doesn't fail. It never fails. When I committed to the idea of going to church for New Year's, they started a campaign of electrical stimulation of the straight pain. And it seemed like what they did was, normally they have different spots, or different entry points, or if I start using the terms that I'm learning, different nodes throughout the body that are basically sending and receiving electrical currents or data signals, however you want to call it, radio frequencies, right? Normally they have all these different nodes, and they'll kind of jump or hop between the different nodes and stimulate a little bit more here, then do a little something there. But what they did, I think they figured they found a sweet spot or something. So right here, it's like two. Okay, so you would have the wisdom tooth, then there's a molar, and then like the molar. I don't have my wisdom tooth, so it's like the second molar from the back, right? There is this like tissue, this lump, right? There's like this lump that's there. And I never had this lump before until I started feeling all these pulsing sensations happening right there along my jawline, on the left side of my jaw, right? Now, I have been trying to find as many sources that they're basically harvesting energy from, to then resonate and then send that energy to the tissue in my body, right? And it's so many different things in places. It's like so many different objects. That's one that they're reflecting signals off of to resonate with the tissue on the left side of my face and then heat that area up. Then it's like, hold on. Okay, so for example, one thing I've learned that they can do with this technology is once you have the technology in you, it forms its own, artificial neural network. So it's like it's like when you think about it, you have your nervous system, and then you also have this whole energy body that's not yours, but it's been built inside of you over a few years. It's an artificial neural network it's an artificial neural network consisting of God knows how many of these embedded nanosensors that's in our tissues, positioning themselves next to our neurons, our nerves, and everything. And in most cases, these things can assemble into something bigger. So it's like, imagine you got these small nanosensors, right? These nanosensors, when they're apart, they probably look like dust to the naked eye, right? But these things are magnetic, and they can harness or harvest energy from, I guess, wherever they are. If they're in the air, they're harvesting energy from radio frequencies, cell tower signals, all these different things. Then, once they get inside the body, or if they collect on the surface, on like a surface area, they then can form basically like a larger form, almost like, think about like Transformers or something, or hell, even like nano-sized Legos or something like that, right? They form like an antenna, or like a larger antenna or a larger transmitter or something. I don't know how to really word it. I'm still reading all this stuff. And once they form these things, depending on how many they cluster up, they may feel like a lump or swelling in the body. And a lot of times, sometimes it's not really going to be this big, huge lump. If it's a big lump, then more than likely, based on what I'm learning so far, is that lump may be an actual tumor. It may not be cancerous, but it can be a tumor or scar tissue damage from the nanosensors heating up the area, the surrounding tissues that's around it. So you got to think about it like this. When these things are inside your body, right? It's like it triggers your body's immune response to produce swelling, because the body is sensing damage to the cells and it's sensing heat. So what it does, it triggers swelling, and sometimes depending on the intensity of how much energy they're transmitting to the site, that energy is heating up the tissue around the sensors. That destroys the cells because of heat. The heat is basically just killing the cells of the surrounding tissue, and that creates the tumor, right? I'm trying to remember as best as I can. I noticed that they've been telling me my spatial awareness has been declining, or he has no spatial awareness. And I mean, that's a given, because when you learn that this technology is basically primarily focused on the prefrontal cortex, and the prefrontal cortex literally is like one of the main areas of your brain that controls so many things about your the prefrontal cortex controls so many things about your personality, and also your motor functions, how you move, how you perceive things. If your prefrontal cortex go down, then it's like you're gonna lose a lot of normal functions. You're gonna lose out on a lot of functions. So what they're telling me is, because I've been talking about this technology, they're like, oh, what did they say? They said you have a, what are the words they said? They used to say something like, oh, you got a stressful life ahead of you. They said TIs live horrible lives. You got a stressful life ahead of you. So I'm like, all right, that's a given. But at least at the same time, I could say, my conscience is gonna be clear though. I could be on my deathbed and be able to say, at least I wasn't torturing people just so that I could say that. I mean, like when I'm on my deathbed, or wherever I'm gonna be when I'm dying, I could literally say, shit, I don't have much to worry about, because I didn't spend most of my life in my body trying to destroy somebody else's life intentionally just so that I can be here. I have that under my belt. My conscience is clear. say Whole Foods is usually better money, closer stops, but they do give you a lot of stops when I come here. Sorry about that. Thank you. All right. So, okay. So, yeah, this you can't really tell looking from the outside. But anyway, so yeah, they've been focusing a lot more. It's kind of almost like they stop attacking certain parts of the body and just concentrated all the energy to like enter one. It feels like there's a few waves that's entering through here, and it travels and comes right here, right? Then they got some that's coming from like the heart. There's like a beam formed from there, and that one kind of loops into here. Then there's one that comes from like the left shoulder, like inside the joint. It comes from the left shoulder, and it comes across and goes into here. All these different things, including all the energy or the waves that's coming from this phone, primarily from this corner here. It's like beam form, and then it comes into here, but it don't come straight, but it actually kind of, oh, nah, I don't even like having them big joints, man. Oh, nah, I use this one. You know, so one of my coworkers, it's funny because you know, with gang stalking and whatnot, and understanding that, you know, a lot of people, you may not know. You may not know who's safe, who's doing what, or whatever. But it's like, it's cool though. Because you really don't have to try to react to everything. You don't have to try to figure out who's doing what. I told myself, for like the last 2 years, I'm not going to focus on the people. I'm not going to focus on the people, because the people are just as much as being manipulated as, maybe not as much as us, but they're being manipulated too. You got to remember, this technology is in everybody. Every child that's going to be born into the world is going to have this technology in them. Everybody is going to have this technology in them. And the worst part is, if you do not have, I guess, connections to them who are in the transhumanist society, you're not going to have access to your W-band, your wireless body area network. You're not going to have access to your avatar. It's going to be other people, and they're going to be able to shop you out. You know, they've been, you know, the V2K, they've been telling me that all these different people are doing stuff to this person I know and myself. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, I have to accept the fact that, A, I don't have an expertise in cybersecurity, let alone blockchain, or let alone how to access a different side of the internet, or the dark web. I don't know how to gain access to any of that. But what I can do is teach myself the basics of this technology, the basics of this radiation game, and focus on the things that I can do to help myself. And then if it works for me, tell everyone else about it so that they can help themselves. Because obviously it's not going to be this mass, you know, awakening thing that, you know, everyone is just going to realize that, oh, they got this stuff in them. No, it's going to start off small. It's going to start with, you know, one person learning how to do something for themselves, and they share it. Then another person does something and they share. You know, it's gonna have to come in that way. And TIs have to not be afraid to actually teach themselves these things. even if you can't remember things, write things down. Because trust and believe, I am already fully aware that, you know, when I do want to try to remember to tell someone something that I should know, so many times where like I'll be in a conversation with someone and I could feel my mind trying to concentrate on what they're saying, listening and comprehending what they're saying. But it's like you got like 2 or 3 things happening at the same time. One, they could be stimulating me, causing me pain here or pain wherever. They could be stimulating me, causing me pain wherever, and that pain is distracting. So sometimes I don't get to hear people clearly. Then there's second thing could be as you're trying to focus, as you're trying to tap into that brain wave that allows you to focus. I think it's delta. I forgot. I try to remember. I try to memorize these things, but I can't remember. But as I'm trying to tap in my focus brainwave, I could feel what feels like an electrical buildup. Like it feels like as if when you're on a train of thought or you're locked in and you're focused on something, it's like imagine a flow of water, right? It's like imagine a flow of water. And when that stream is going and you know everything that you're trying to say and your recall is working perfectly, everything's moving, it's a flowing water, right? What they do, it's almost as if like they put like a lever. They put like some type of lever or a dam or something to try to like constrict the ability for that water to keep flowing. You know, it's almost as if like right, if there's like a flow of water, they put like a dam or something there to basically hold up, block it, so that whenever you're trying to remember something, it's not flowing, you know, because there's a blockage there. Your neurons, something is intercepting the ability of one neuron to send neurotransmitters to the other neuron head through the synapses, the space in between the 2 neuron heads. And then it's like not only will they just block it, but they could also block. The nanosensors will block and then also like intercept and then send its own signals or its own electrical stimulations or information to the other neuron. So it's like imagine it's like I don't know, it's the strangest thing. It's like you could be talking about like what you ate 5 minutes ago, you know, and you literally just ate something 5 minutes ago. You still have the taste of it in your mouth. You could just start talking, then all of a sudden somebody asks you, so what did you have? And I'm like, first thing you gonna notice is it's a block. It feels like something is blocking you from, and it's like you just ate this thing 5 minutes ago. Why you can't remember? It's not that you can't remember, you're being prevented from remembering. Hold on. All right. I had to pack up my route. But yeah, so they're just hitting me really intensely right here. And it feels like they're basically using wherever there's a device within the area of my body, we're going to take the energy from that device and then transmit it right here. Oh. And then, you know what's strange about it? There are moments where I could place my tongue, right? It's like when I do it, if I put my tongue on the outside of my tooth, right below, right where the gum is, that's where I can feel the lump. But I can also feel the pulses. I can feel the pulses of the frequencies going into that area. I'm glad I've seen those videos online of what it looked like when people are having implants removed, because when people are having these implants and the nanofibers and stuff removed from their body, it's usually like like tissue had grew over the area, like scar tissue grew over the transmitter, and it looked like a tumor. It looks like a tumor. So I got me some health insurance, so I'm gonna go and get checked out this month. Yeah, because I gotta start working into the next phase of how I want to really advocate for targeted individuals and those who may not even know. Why you gotta stop right there? Can you move up? I was like, alright. So yeah, it's like I'm still in my research phase. I'm still trying to learn as much as I can about emerging nanotechnologies and whatnot. Granted, we're probably never really going to find. Well, maybe I shouldn't say never. We're most likely not going to find any documentation about how nanosensors within the body can be weaponized. But we will find a whole lot of information about how nanosensors in the body can receive radio frequencies, then convert those radio frequencies into electrical stimulations or electrical impulses, and then these devices within the body and wherever they're positioned or wherever they're commanded to a program to position themselves, they will then stimulate the area that they're programmed to. Now, the intensity of how much they're programmed to stimulate, that is on the that in itself is on the handlers. Because you got to think about it. Like I said, every single person, thing, living thing, and thing has these nanobots either in them, well, not even either, in them and on them. It's like there's a reason why, I'm going to tell you this, there's a reason why if you put alcohol on a rag, right, get a washcloth, put a little warm water, like wet the cloth, and then once you wet the cloth, put some alcohol on the cloth. Especially if you're coming from outside, people need to note this. Put some alcohol on that cloth, and then just wipe yourself with that cloth. I'm going to tell you what you may experience, because this is what I always experience when I do it. First thing I feel is almost like it's like an energetic, it's like this, it's not like an explosive feeling, but it's almost as if like, you ever see, what an animation looks like when, let's say, I'm trying to find the best example to explain it, because it's such a relieving feeling. It literally feels like something just peeled, like literally peeled off your body. Or if it doesn't feel like it peeled off your body, something feels like it lifted off your body, right? Because that's what I realized when you think about how they're trying to have a digital. Oh my goodness, this wind is making this bike heavier, and it's like I am pedaling as hard as I can. Oh, but it is an incline on that street. But anyway, it's like when you think about how they're trying to basically replicate or have a digital replica of everything, we're talking about nanomaterials, meta materials. Oh, see, now this probably starting to make sense. I have 4 bars, but yet my bike feels so like they're draining the energy from the battery, which they've done this here like all the time. They do this every time I come to work. Battery is there. The battery is there. The motor is there. So it's like, because I have this technology in me, and everything that is an electronic device basically has its own electromagnetic field, and because I produce an electromagnetic field, and with their wireless sensor technology and whatnot, they can see the field of the battery, and they'll see the field that I'm producing. But get this, once this nanotech lands on anything, it then scans everything, right? And then it transmits that data to the cloud, where in the cloud, and then whatever other interfaces and all that other applications they may have, they take that data and they create a digital copy of that thing or that person, and it's now on the web, right? The resonance, where the pain and everything comes from, is basically, they would find a frequency, or I'm not exactly sure, but there's a frequency. Yeah, I can feel it right there. So it's like there's a frequency that they find, and then they're like, okay, he has that frequency. I mean, I think we pretty much can resonate with almost any frequency. So whatever frequency this battery, or the field of this battery can resonate with me, they basically create that resonance. Then it's like it's literally right there. It's like there, and I could trace it. I thought it was coming to the phone, but it's not coming to the phone. It actually comes up, and then it, like, as it goes up, it comes here, right? It comes here, and then it's like a whole bunch of digital stuff is happening up here. A whole lot of, I don't know, converging or I don't know, decoding or whatever the case may be, but there's information leaving the body and information coming to the body, but it's all right here. I don't know what this area is called. I don't know if it's called the central control unit or whatever, but this area right here, this is where a lot of the activity happens. Nothing gets transmitted to your body unless it passes through here. Then it branches out like think of an LED. It's like it branches out to different waves. So right now they got one that kind of comes down and it swoops into here. Then they got one that probably comes into the back. I mean, it's all over the place. But anyway, hold on. So different location. But anyway, right now it's like, it's so bad. They've been doing it for, like, I would say it's now over 48 hours that they've been concentrating all the energy here. Now the strange thing is, when I open my jaw at a certain angle, I could feel the warmth of, I guess, the energy leaving the tooth. Now, see, I got those fillings there. There must be, I think I've heard them say that there's like a cavity that they're taking advantage of. So they're using the cavity probably under the filling or something like that to, to, I guess, gain a much easier access to the nerve so they can stimulate the nerve. And now what it feels like is, hello, Happy New Year. These and one more. Okay, listen. Take care. I'm actually still having you guys on the phone while I make a delivery. That was the first time I ever did that. Anyway, so yeah, like it's like when I open my jaw, I can feel the warmth of the radiation like kind of escaping the tube. But it's almost as if like it's not escaping the tube, but it's almost like that's information leaving the tooth, like that's the sensors telling the server or whoever's, watching the data that this is what is currently happening based on the stimulations that are coming in. Let's see. This way. Okay, so like I was saying, yeah, it's like they're sending so much energy into this area that when I open my mouth, I can tell it's like it's this warm, uncomfortable smell that's coming from just that tooth. And when I put my tongue on the tooth in that area, it's hot. Like it's hot. Not like warm, like, the rest, like you could tell when something on your body is being heated because you can feel. It's like you can feel. What? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Anyway, I was like, can I get off the sidewalk? Anyway, yeah, so it's like, right now it literally feels like they're heating up the nerve or the gums or I guess the nerve, because the moment I said the word nerve, it just started to, I started to feel the intensity kind of almost like subside a little bit. But that's something I noticed, and I've been saying this. I have like a slight little background in health and injury rehabilitation and stuff. So it's like I still remember some stuff about anatomy and everything. But what I realized is that this heating effect that they're conducting is let me see. Too bad I can't. I don't know. I just had a thought cross my mind. I was like, I should probably show y'all the bull of Wall Street. The bull is down there. Where you see that tree? The bull is down there. But it's always crowded over there. I'm not gonna go down there. When y'all take a trip to New York, just hit me up, and I can show y'all some less targeting, some minimal targeting places that's in the city, or places in the city where you'll find the least amount of gang stalkers. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway. But yeah, man, it's like I can feel, like it literally feels like I don't know. It smells like burning, like I'm being cooked from the inside out. That's what it really feels like. Oh, right. So what I was saying about, I started reminding myself or reintroducing myself to human anatomy, because if I can place my hand on the exact spot of where they're targeting, if I could place my hand on the exact spot where they're targeting, then I could actually, for myself, say, okay, how deep does it feel? Does it feel like they're attacking muscle, or are they attacking, cartilage? Then I could be like, okay, all right, I could tell this is most likely, a ligament. And then it's crazy because when I would say something along the lines like, they think they're going to use this technology to try to destroy my ACL or something. And then it's funny because if they were targeting the ACL and I actually say ACL exactly, I noticed something would happen. Almost as if like it was like, oh, he figured it out. And then it'll be like, it'll feel like they kind of stop for a second. And it reminds me how like in church they say, call the devil out. Call the devil out. And then all of a sudden things will stop. It's like when you know exactly what's going on and you call it out loud, it's so weird how it almost literally just kind of stops, right? It'll stop for a second, but of course, they're Luciferian, so they have desires in torturing people. So they'll start back up. But then it's like you at least know where they're hitting you and what they're doing. It's like I'm tired, but I'm not really that tired. I know they made it hard for me to sleep. Cause let me see. I got to my mom's house by somewhere around 2, I think. No, I think it was like 1:40, 1:50, something like that. Then I probably didn't fall asleep till almost 3 o'clock or 3:30 something. No, I think I probably didn't fall asleep till almost like 3 o'clock. Yeah. Then I think at some point my girl, she couldn't sleep because we have a different type of routine that we do when we go to sleep in our house. Like I told you, we turn off the fuse box. We turn off every fuse in the apartment just to try to reduce the amount of EMF sources that they can pull energy from. But the thing is, we still have the bots. We still have all the bots that's in the air. It's in the air. And when you open your window, if you have ventilation, these bots, they come into your home and they basically land on different things. And I think they're actually attracted to just about anything that's metal. So I've found out that once these things attach themselves to anything that's metal, they could literally turn that metal object into something. It could be like a hanger. And this is some true thing. This is some true shit. The hangers, metal hangers can be turned into a weapon, because once these nanobots land on the metal, they not only turn it into I can't even really, because it's like the sensors are magnetic, but they also are able to harvest electrical currents. So that means the nanosensors themselves are electromagnetic. But because they can attach themselves to a metal that doesn't even have a magnetism to it or an electrical current running through it, once they land on something metal, they basically can form a meta surface. At least that's what I think. I'm still learning this, but I'm always open for somebody to correct me. but there's never really that many people that's correct me. I don't know. Anyway, so they form a meta surface and create what I would like to call an antenna out of nowhere, right? And then next thing you know, I'm going like this, like I could feel, I'm going like this, and I'm like, oh snap, I could feel like energy literally coming off of the hanger. And the hanger is not, it's not an electronic hanger, it's not a smart hanger, it's a regular metal ass hanger. Matter of fact, what's even weird, this is actually weird. Hold on, let me take my glove off. This is, now the only way I could feel something like this is if it has its own electromagnetic field. Because one thing I've been learning is, because our hands and our body are radiating or emitting an electromagnetic field, once we come into proximity of another field, electromagnetic field, we can feel the field of that other thing, right? But I'm like, this is a bungee cord. Why do I feel energy coming off of a bungee cord? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like this technology basically can take anything and it could turn it into a transmitter. When they said it's the internet of everything, that's exactly what they meant. The internet of everything. Everything is going to have a digital replica on the internet. Everything. Why? Because it has all these sensors, like the air. Even though you can't see it, if you took some of this air or took some water and you got a nanoscope, not a microscope, but a nanoscope, and you look at that shit under a nanoscope, you'll probably find nanobots layered all over the stuff. If you did a cotton swab or something and you put it under a nanoscope, you'll probably find nanobots all over it. I don't really feel, okay, no, I do actually. I do. But yeah. So that's why I've been telling people, one of the best things you can start doing is learning about heavy metal detoxes, learning about how to use fresh parsley. Fresh parsley has actually been good for detoxing heavy metals out the body. What else? There's so many things you can do, and I'm trying to post up as much as I can, as many things as I can. I've reduced the amount of videos I've been putting up because I was like, man, most of the time I can't even get my thoughts straight for me to say what I really be wanting to say by the time I get the video going. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and post my conversations with the chatbot, you know. And it still surprises me that the chatbot would tell me so many intricate things. And I'm like, yo, this is great. This is great. You know, because, I mean, the chatbot is basically going to give me information about the nanosensors from a medical perspective, unless I give it a hypothetical situation where, like, some malicious hacker gains access to the nanosensors in the system that they're operating with. And I love the responses that the chatbot gives, because it's like, yo, the chatbot knows what's happening to me, but it's like programmed to not say that it knows. You know, like a secret. But anyway, let me go ahead and finish this. I think I only have one more route after this. Then hopefully I'm gonna just go home. I gotta be back out here in the morning, early morning. I started today at 10:30. So I thought that would help me, you know, I could sleep in a little bit, then, you know, but nah, they made sure I didn't get no good sleep. Oh, right. Something else I gotta show you. So, I'm testing something else out. This is actually tape. It's called aluminum tape, right? Now, remember I told you that I started using Kapton tape, and I started going around my house and literally just taking my hand either like this, going over like walls or objects, or I'll go like this, just to see if I can feel a wave hitting against my hand. And then I'll just take a piece of that Kapton tape and I'll put it right over that spot. I'm actually trying to like, and this actually would be very useful, because if there's ever some type of like a real investigation, and I got all these tapes in specific spots. I don't know what other people have in their apartments, but I am aware that electromagnetic fields and dirty electricity can be pumping from the electrical wirings in between the walls. And then also, if someone has like a refrigerator or a TV mounted on a wall, or any other device on the other side of that wall, they're going to beamform and resonate from that device on the other side of that wall, through the wall and into your body, in your own apartment. If you don't have like lead-based paint, then I'm sure that it's probably just going to penetrate straight through the wall, and you're going to be wondering why you're getting hit, like you're feeling like you covered so many different spots, or you blocked off so many different things, but you feel like you're still getting hit. And it's like, well, yeah, because if you live in an apartment, your neighbors may not be a part of your targeting, but they may be aware of it because they're a part of the society, right? But they may not be a part of your targeting. They may be instructed to, let's say, do something like make a noise or say something, or they may be instructed to move their refrigerator into this spot, because they know, I guess their handlers know that on the other side of the wall, this is where you normally sit. So if they move this heavy, strong radiation producing device, they put it by this wall, they know that you're always sitting on this side of the wall. So if they just move, it's like if they move the refrigerator here, and they know you always sit here on the other side of the wall in this apartment over here, they know that the field produced by the refrigerator, they can draw and beamform from that fridge and then resonate it right into you. But yeah, I'm working on some things. But don't worry, I'm doing all right though. So all right. As always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Happy New Year's, and I hope everyone is doing their very best to maintain their peace, because without peace, the suffering thing, it just drags. It drags. So you do everything that you can to find peace in your life, because the suffering thing, it drags, but you don't have to allow it to drag you, All right. Take care.